Of course I can! Giant baby. Oh shit!
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2023 comedy film Cocaine Bear. The film is directed by Elizabeth Banks and it stars Kerry Russell, Alden Ehrenreich, O'Shea Jackson Jr. and Ray Liotta. Now the film is happy to tell you that it's based on true events. Well, it's based on a true event, and that is the fact that a bear consumed some cocaine, but it didn't go on a rampage. In actual fact, the bear just kind of died. So it is based on some truth, but not the full truth. But this film focuses on a bear who happens across a stash of cocaine that has been dropped from an aeroplane from a drug dealer, consumes it, becomes addicted, and goes on a cocaine rampage, taking out many of the locals in increasingly brutal and inventive and quite amusing ways. Right, what are my thoughts on Cocaine Bear? Well, let's be honest, whoever saw the trailer for this whenever it came out late last year, who wasn't immediately interested in this? To me, it looked hilarious. Just the thought of doing a film like this is kind of like, well, you know, were they doing cocaine when they decided to make this film? It's such a mad idea, but it's also quite a perfect idea as well. And while I don't think this film is maybe just as good as it could have been, it's a good time also, this film. It is at times insanely funny and a little bit mental. And incredibly enjoyable. This film is absolutely at its best with the scenes with the bear, obviously going on a rampage, snorting its cocaine, and there's some fun little scenes, you know, where it's chasing butterflies and things like that because it's high as a kite. The film is at its best when it focuses on that and the stupidity of it, but it's also at its best when you see the bear like going on its rampage and taking out people in the ways that it does. That's absolutely when it's at its peak. This film is at its weakest in those scenes in between. When it focuses on weird character traits, like there's a policeman who's got this thing with a dog that just like the film just didn't need it. And there's other characters in the film, you know, the park ranger that's got a thing for this guy who's coming to visit, and like the film didn't need it. You know, I think sometimes the film tries a little bit too hard to give us meaningful characters with weird character traits that the film just didn't need. Do you know what I mean? And it does kind of peak a little bit early, is best way to put it. You know what I mean? It's one of those films that it really gets to these highs, you know, where this bear chasing people down high as a kite, you know, and you get some of the brutal kills and some hilarious moments. But it almost gets to the point, I think the last quarter of this film is a bit like, we've seen this now. We've seen it, done it. And I'm not that interested in that character sort of thing. So I think it kind of misses the landing a little bit, this film. But 3/4 of it, I think, is pretty good stuff. Apart from like some of the pointless dialogue scenes, and like the weird character traits that they give some of these characters, like the Alden Ehrenreich character is like depressed. Why do we need that sort of thing? It just seemed like they just were giving these weird character traits out, you know, and they were like a lottery who got them. But there are many, many funny and standout scenes here with this bear, you know, that will literally have you in stitches. I mean, it did me, because the concept of it was just so ridiculous. There is a little bit of an element of, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen the film. They kind of go with a lot of the best moments in the trailer, which is a bit of a shame. We kind of saw everything, and there wasn't many surprises left in the film, so that maybe lessened the impact of it a little bit. But when it is funny, this film, it is very, very funny. And it's very competently directed as well. You know, Elizabeth Banks, yes, it is that Elizabeth Banks, the actress that we've seen in quite a few things over the years. I think does a really fine job here, and I think she is maturing as a director. She's obviously had some well publicised misfires, you know, the Charlie's Angels film and things like that. But I think this is a very, very competently made film with someone with good comedic sensibility, sort of thing. She understands what comedy is, and the beats in the comedy here absolutely work. There are some that will probably say, oh, the bear effects aren't very good. And there are times when it's clearly a CGI bear. You know, there's no getting away from it. And you can tell it's a CGI bear. And if it was like a Marvel film or something like that, everyone would be diving on it saying, oh, the effects are terrible. But you can forgive it because it's a comedy. You can forgive a lot with a film like this. It still works because there's no way you would get a bear to do what some of these things this bear does in this film, especially some of its reactions when it's high as a kite. It's just hilarious and fabulous. So you can kind of certainly forgive some dodgy bear CGI here and there. But this is a film that I ultimately enjoyed. Maybe not just as much as I was hoping. I was hoping that there might have been a couple of surprises in there, and unfortunately there wasn't. A nice classy act that they dedicated the film to Ray Liotta, because this was his last acting performance before he sadly passed. I think my understanding is he passed a couple of weeks after he came into the studio to like dub his line sort of thing. So yeah, a bit of a nice classy act that they dedicated the film to him. But if you saw the trailer of this and the comedy and the humour in it kind of clicked with you and you thought, that looks like a film I'm going to enjoy, then I promise you will enjoy it. Just don't go into it thinking this is going to be like a masterpiece that, you know, you're going to immediately want to go run back into the cinema to rewatch. It's good, but it is certainly flawed, and the final act kind of, for me, was a bit... But yeah, definitely check it out. I certainly enjoyed my time watching this one. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you found it useful. I'll be back with more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.